deck. And then coming to the stage right now is Iwan Ng, everybody.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Yeah, it's a thing about how language has been changing over the years, you know? Like nowadays, if a guy comes up to you and tells you he's gonna blow your brains out, you're not sure if to run away or pull your pants down. I was watching this documentary about General Custer, his famous last stand, the Battle of the Little Bighorn. I was like, Little Bighorn? That's gotta be a euphemism for penis, no? Right? It's like, this is my bighorn, and this is my little bighorn. Yeah, the doctors are so full of shit, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like back in the 20s, people didn't really trust eating hamburgers. So when White Castle came out, they hired a bunch of doctors to sit in the restaurants eating hamburgers and shit. And people were like, oh wow, hamburgers are healthy. Hamburgers aren't healthy. In the 40s and 50s, doctors were like, used to sell cigarettes, newspapers, and fucking magazines. You could even see a TV commercial still, like on YouTube. Doctor be like, oh, I'm a doctor, so I smoke Camels, right? That's such bullshit, right? They're doctors, they know better, they're just totally fucking lying. And then the new medical fucking scam thing now, is the whole prostate fucking rectal exam thing, right? Now I've heard 100 different stories about guys getting prostate rectal exam. They all end the same way. They didn't find anything. If it's so important, why don't you show me what to do, and then I'll stick my own finger up my own ass, huh? How about that, right? But oh no, we can't have that, can we? Well, you need like a medical degree to find a bubble in your butt? I tell you, my intestines aren't the only thing that's full of shit. In the NFL, they got one Asian person. He's a kicker. Could you not find a more racist position for this guy? Or was he gonna come out in a karate uniform? Yeah, a couple weeks ago, OJ died, right? That was pretty crazy, right? What's crazy was the way he basically crashed the whole internet. Yeah, the second he died, basically half of America got online and was like, who the fuck is OJ Simpson? I was watching this Bigfoot documentary. It struck me as how dedicated these Bigfoot hunters were, They're so devoted to something that might not even be real. Like comedians in their careers. Yeah, last April 4th is a new holiday. It's a National Burrito Day. That's pretty cool, right? I love burritos. And the very next day, April 5th, is now National Toilet Clogging Day. I was in the Army, first cavalry, first order. It was pretty cool, It was weird being the only Asian person, though. Every day, people were just looking at me like, are we supposed to shoot this guy? Okay, let me tell you the story. Whatever. It's the day I left for the Army, right? My mom, she came home early from work that day, right? She'd never done this before. So we went to Denny's and shit, we got lunch, I remember I had spaghetti and sausage. I was so fucking nervous, I couldn't eat anything. Then we go home, right, wait for my recruiter to come. We're waiting for a couple hours, right? I'm starting to think, maybe he's not gonna show up, right? And I'm like, yeah. But then, right when that clock strikes, right when he says he's gonna be there, I hear these footsteps outside, right? And he's going up the stairs. It's all slow, right? And then I can hear him walking down the hall and towards the front of our door, right? And he's knocking, it's like, all slow, right? So I open the door and there's my recruiter standing there. And I'd seen him before about 5 times before this, but I'd never seen him with his full uniform on. He's got all these medals and shit. I'm like, holy crap, this guy's like a fucking war hero. Anyway, so I grabbed my stuff and I turned to my mom. Now, Asian people, we're not very affectionate, right? So my mom's never really hugged me or anything like that, right? So she just looks at me and she's like, bye, son. I'm like, oh, okay. So I turn, I grab my stuff, I walk out with my recruiter, right? We walk out the door, down the stairs. We get into his car, right? And we back up. And just as we're about to pull out, my mom comes flying down the fucking stairs, right? And tears are just pouring down her face and shit, right? She runs over to the car, she fucking jumps on it and shit. And she's like, I love you, son, don't die, come back home and shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, I love you, mom, I will, don't worry. I'll come back home and shit. And I give her a great big hug, right? And we drive off. And I look back, and she's standing by the side of the road, just bawling, like that shit. Yeah, that's crazy, Then I call her about an hour later, because I'm a little worried. And she's partying with all her friends. Yeah. Well, I know this last joke. Yeah, I was talking to this Persian guy the other day. I was like, "You're Persian? From Persia?" He was like, "Yeah, where are you from?" I was like, the Han Dynasty, I guess. All right, my name's Iwana. I'm out of here. Thank you.